Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. To my subscribers, thank you for the support, and if you're coming here for the first time, you're welcome. My name is Bayo. I am doing this tutorial because I am trying to respond to a number of questions I have gotten regarding how I take my pictures and my videos with my phone. So I did go out with my friends Vanessa and Michael. I asked them to come along and be part of this process as I explain to you how best to maximize the tool that you have in your hands, which is your phone, and get the best pictures and videos. So thank you Vanessa and Michael for being my models on this shoot. I also include a bit of behind the scenes in this process so that people could get to see how I kind of go through capturing my photos and videos. But before we get to that, this picture behind me is a photo that I took with my phone, and I decided to blow it up because why not? Also, just to point out the fact that you can do so much just with the tool that you have in your hands. But before we get into the video, let's cue the intro. So one of the things that I usually pay attention to when taking photos or videos with my phone is the perspective. I go for those angles that are not typical. I usually do not take my pictures while standing unless it's a photo of a landscape. Same with my videos. So I usually go for like the details as well. And you see here I'm pushing in on the shoe of Vanessa on the sneakers, and I'm trying to pan, I'm trying to move forward and move backward manually, moving my hand steadily while I am crouched on the ground. That's a shot that you will now see the end result of it here. And in this instance, I wanted to take some pictures. I had an idea for some photos I wanted to take, and I needed to use a clamp to cradle my phone. But you will realize that I asked Vanessa to move out from the sun because when I looked at the initial composition, the sun was too harsh on her face, so I moved her into the shade. But even at that, I wasn't still happy with my composition, so we changed the location, and I was still looking for something, you know, a lot better. And I asked her to stay on this bridge while I try to compose the shot yet again, but I wasn't still satisfied. I wasn't really feeling the vibe, and then I moved the phone totally off the tripod and tried to take the photos using this railing, and then I was happy with my composition. I also asked her to go get her jacket and wear it, and that's when we got the shots that I was looking for, and I was then glad, and this is how they turned out. And of course, we also used the same location to take some pictures of Michael, and it also turned out pretty good. Another thing that I pay attention to, especially in relation to video, is to try and use something called the reveal shot, and that is what I did here. I used this tree as like a block and then panned gradually to the right to reveal Vanessa and Michael having a chat. I did the same thing behind their back, and then I did the same method. I applied the same method while they walked on the street. In this next shot, I did ask Vanessa to walk into the frame, but also you see that I am just, I'm stationed, I'm not moving. That's a very interesting shot, but you see what then happens when I take the same kind of shot, but then I walk right behind her. I feel that that movement that is added makes the video more dynamic. Both are good, but I just kind of feel the second is better. So try and add some movement into your videos as much as possible. So back to taking more pictures. There was an idea that just occurred to me as we're trying to move to the next location, and as Vanessa was about to get out of the car, I just said, you know what, hold on a minute, let's take a few photos of you in the car. And that turned out to be a location in itself. And the point I'm trying to make with this is any point can be an interesting location for your shots. What I did here was to ask Michael to jump and leap into the air while having his hands stretched out. And I did the bust shot and I got this result, and I was so excited and happy about it because it made it look like he was suspended mid-air. Of course, I took a number of other pictures and videos that day with Vanessa and Michael, applying the techniques I've just discussed, and now I put it all together into one single video, and this is how it turned out. So I did ask on my Instagram for people to also send in further questions in addition to the ones that I had gotten. So I'll respond to a few of them, the few that I could get to, so that I do not take too much time in this video. There's a question here from Akura Closet Raid. Her name is Jane, and she was saying, I worry about lighting. My camera is really good, but my worry is the lighting. When is the best time, and also the location, because I record mostly indoors, except the quality wobbles all over the place. Oh, good question, Jane, shout out. Best time to record will be in the daytime because you have the natural lighting. That's what I would recommend. If you're working with a phone, I would definitely discourage you recording at night because phones do struggle with nighttime, either photography or nighttime filming as well. One of the tricks would be to face a light source. So if you're recording indoors, like you mentioned in here, face a light source, get close to a window, open up the blinds and let the light pour in so that the light is being cast on your face and you can get the most out of that shot and it won't be dark or anything. And also, before you start recording, lock your exposure on your phone. There's a way you can lock it. On the iPhone, you down press on the screen until you see the AEAF lock. And I think it will be the same thing or similar with many other phones like the Android phones as well. Lock your exposure so that way it wouldn't keep wobbling all over the place. The next question is from Oluwatimilane, who goes by the Instagram handle Team Eglam Walk. I hope I pronounced that right. Her question was that I need to come for classes, Sabi. Yeah, absolutely, why not? You're more than welcome. And she says, I need to take lessons. Do you edit on your phone as well? Yes and no. I edit many of my pictures on my phone. I'll put a few examples up here on the screen. So I do edit a lot on my phone. I use the app called Lightroom Mobile. It's a free app. It's available for Android and for iOS devices. And I've done a few edits on my phone with regards to videos. I do not do a lot of video editing on my phone because I feel that it's such a small screen and video takes a lot more time for me to edit. And so unless it's a short clip I want to quickly post onto Instagram stories, then maybe I do it on my phone. So the next question is from Zizwani. She goes by the Instagram name Zizwanik. Hi Zizwani. She says, I'm tempted to ask you that you teach me how to make such videos. You are really good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then she goes on to say, I love taking pictures, but I fail to make good videos. Books must be read, but pictures must be taken too. Memories are so good. I agree with you. Memories are absolutely necessary, but definitely you can combine both and you could do awesome at the same time. The next question I'm taking would be from Jen. She goes by the Instagram name Sugar Kanha. And she says, law versus photography. That's an important question because many of you might know I'm a lawyer and I still have my day job as a human rights lawyer. I go to work and I have a passion for photography. And what I have done is to try and combine both by telling stories, that relate to issues of human rights violation and seeking how to amplify some injustices using pictures or videos. And I've done a bit of short films in relation to that and taken a number of pictures and launched a number of campaigns in relation to those kinds of thematic areas as well. So I don't think it's either or. It's just been good that I have found a way to merge them. So while I'm pursuing justice for victims of human rights abuses, I'm able to still do a bit of photography that helps to amplify those kinds of issues, because people do relate a lot with visuals. Visuals are very powerful. So think about it. If you want to bounce some ideas off me, I will be glad to do that, and you could get in touch and you could think through some ways in which you could combine your photography or love for photography with some of the things that you currently do as a profession. All right. Next question would be from Moritz. Hi, Moritz. Good friend of mine, actually. And he says, okay, his Instagram handle is Moritz Cruz, and he asks the question, would you say it's beneficial to have a good mixture of DSLR photography as well as simple phone snaps? I would definitely say yes, it is very beneficial, but I would rather recommend that you start off with a series of phone photography, and that would then transition you into being able to do a better job in relation to high-end cameras, DSLRs or mirrorless. I really would just say, anybody out there, before you invest in a camera, start off with your phone first and see what you can achieve, because the same principles that go for the phone photography apply to a DSLR kind of photography, just a few differences. But once you get it locked down with your phone photography or videography, you'll also be able to do more excellently well when you have that expensive tool in your hands. This has been a longer video than I anticipated, but I hope you have found it useful. Feel free to ask me further questions either on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, or even in the comment section below, and I'll be glad to respond. And also do share this with your friends who you feel might find it useful as well. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with me, and until next time, let's get to work.